Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how you can export content from Anki to import it into the HighSpeedLanguage program. Now you want to do this because Anki has quite a lot of content which is being created by users. It's free content. I've mentioned it before in other videos. From what I've seen and what I've used, a lot of the content is not great, and I would say it's definitely not great material to learn from, but it's better than nothing, and you may find something good for the language you're learning, and it may be able to help you. So what we need to do is we need to open up Anki. I've already downloaded one file into Anki already. Let's open it up. It's going to open. Okay, there we have. So I've already downloaded this file, French 500 colored words with pictures and male MF audio. So you would go get shared, and it's under French, and this third one here, and you click on download, and you would, once it's downloaded, you would click on it to install into Anki, which we've done here. So now we want to export it out of Anki. So we click on File, Export, Notes. We choose 500 French colored words, export tags. I'm not sure if there's any in there, but we'll do it. Export, save it to our desktop, and we'll just call it French. And we'll press save. The other reason why you'd want to export and import into the HighSpeedLanguage program is Anki doesn't have any tools to easily look up words you don't know. It doesn't have tools for hearing the pronunciation. As I mentioned before, it's got a totally different scheduling system which works on an algorithm which it tries to optimize it, but I don't think it's very good. I think it's much better to use what's in the HighSpeedLanguage program, which is a pre-specified schedule, say 10 reviews over 3 months, or 10 reviews over a month, or whatever you want. It depends on how good you are with the language. Anki also asks you every time you go through a flashcard is how well did you remember it, and I find that you spend a lot more time thinking about how well you remembered something than, well, maybe not more time, but you waste a lot of time thinking about how well you may have remembered something rather than focusing 100% on the content. And for me personally, I think that when you are reviewing something, you often will feel you know it well, but then 3 days later you've totally forgotten it. So the idea that you can correctly assess how well you may recall something in the future, I think is flawed, and I don't think that it's a good idea to be always thinking about how well you remembered something. It's best just to review the content, review it say 10 times, depending on how far along you are with the language. And if you don't remember after 10 times, then the content wasn't well formatted, or it's in that particular format you're not able to remember it easily, so you move on and learn it somewhere else. Whereas Anki tries to really force it into your memory, even if the content is not good, it's forcing it, just constantly trying to force it. And for me, that's frustrating, trying to force something which your mind doesn't want to remember into your memory. For me, it's not a very good situation, and I think that's the same for most language learners. So a pre-scheduled or specified schedule of reviewing is, in my opinion, a lot better than trying to work out what the best may be according to some algorithm. Anyway, so we've exported here under French. We'll open that one up, and you'll notice it's got quite a lot of stuff that's not that easy to work out what it is. What we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste that, select all. So I just selected it all, and we're going to open it up in any spreadsheet program. I'm using this free one, LibreOffice Calc. You can use Google Sheets, and I'm going to paste that content in here and see what we have. Okay, so it's pasted. So we've got two columns. It seems like we've got two columns, the front and the back. The front has an image and the back has a word and the sound. To import it into HighSpeedLanguage, we want one column for one piece of information. So for this particular content, we want one column with the image, one column with the text, and one column with the audio file. So let's work on the first column here. We're going to copy this out. You could use any Notepad text editing program, but I like the free program called Notepad++. So I'm just going to use that. That just gives you more options for searching and replacing. So here we can see there the images. We need to get rid of all of this stuff around the image name. We need to get rid of all of that. So let's select that, go search, replace. Oh, it's over here, and we're going to replace that with nothing, so that will just delete it. Oh, I think I deleted it. I replaced it with a space, so we should be able to get rid of that one later. We'll get rid of that now. Oh no, I will just do that properly. We'll replace it with nothing. That's done. Now we want to get rid of this stuff at the end and replace it with nothing. So hopefully we should have a list of file names and nothing else. That looks like what we have there. Just a list of file names. That's perfect. There, the list of images. Alright, so let's delete what we have here and let's paste that in. Okay, so now that's great. We've just got the image in the first column. Now in this second column, we need to divide this out into two. We're going to have the text and we are going to have the audio file. So let's just copy the content and let's select all of this and delete that, and we'll paste this in here. So we need to turn this into two columns, and we can do that by putting a tab between the two values. So I think this deck has different colors for the different, if the words are male or feminine, male or female word, then it uses a different color. We won't worry about that in this exercise, but what you could do is you could just replace this text. If this is the color here for male, you just replace that with male, the word male, or you could put it male in brackets or whatever you wanted, but we won't do that just in case it's not right, or there's some other factors which we can't see yet. Just to make it simple, this video. So we're going to get rid of all of the stuff around the sound file and the text. So I'll just get some of that and replace it with nothing. Okay, and we can get, this has got this div at the end. Just get that and replace it with nothing. Okay, and we need to work out what is dividing these two pieces of information, the word and the sound. So we could say this is, and we could delete all of this here. So let's delete this, search and replace. Okay, we can delete this. Search and replace all. So now what do we have? We've still got a font in here. That's probably for the other other male or female, whatever one it is, we'll replace them all. And now we're going to, now we've got, and now it looks good. So we've got our French word and we've got our sound file. So what we want to do, let's just check them all and make sure there's nothing strange going on. There's a few strange things going on here. This here, all of this font stuff. We can do, let's just have a look and see if there's many strange things. Maybe somebody used copy and paste and it's added all this extra stuff in here. Let's just get rid of that. Yeah, it seems there's quite a few different colors. So that may be because there is, we'll get rid of it. Get rid of all of this. Let's just delete. No, we can't delete it because that will cause problems. We need to make sure that it all lines up from what we did before. So we can't just delete any rows, otherwise that will make it so it doesn't line up with the information we processed before. So let's have a look if there's anything else strange. There's this here, which has got, we need to get rid of all that. We just want the word and then this sound file name in the brackets, and then we can work with that. Let's get rid of all of this. It's looking good now. Let's get rid of that. Let's have a look if there's anything else. If there's that there, we can get rid of that. That looks good. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of all of this. Yeah, I'm not too sure why this file has some which are strange. We don't need to do it perfectly. This is just a demonstration. We don't need to make it perfect. Let's just see how many more. There's only seems to be a couple more that have got some extra formatting information in them. So we may as well just do that and do that here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Alright, so that looks reasonable now. It looks like it's pretty consistent. So now we just need to make this, divide this into two columns. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that, search for that, and replace that with a tab. And maybe that's where this Notepad++ comes in. So we can say extended. I think if we do \T, or you could probably just put a tab in. No, you can't put a tab in there. You can't type tab as it goes to the next control. So \T, if we replace all, yeah, we've added a tab in there. That's exactly what we wanted. So we'll get rid of that bracket on the end. We'll just replace that with nothing. Replace all. And let's have to fix these ones up. Just if there's anything that's out of the ordinary, we can just do that manually. That looks good. Let's just scroll through them and make sure they all look reasonable. Or we don't want any strange characters in there like slashes and so forth, as that could cause problems with our importing. Okay, that looks pretty good now. I think that looks good. It looks all consistent. So we're going to copy that. It's got the tab in it. Now we're going to go back to our spreadsheet, and we've got that from here. We're going to delete that, and we're going to paste in there, and that looks great. So now we've got 3 columns. It looks good, like we've got it all lined up. We've got 3 columns. Our first is the image, our second is the French word, and our third is the audio file. That's perfect. Let's just keep that open, and we're going to go into HighSpeedLanguage now, and we are going to create a new file. Create a new deck. We'll call this French 5. That's just going to set up our new file for us. Okay, we've created a new file. It's got nothing in it. So we need to import this into an exercise. So what we have here is an image, and we have a French word, and we have the audio. So we don't have any translations here. So for example, what we might do with this one, we might just have the front, like the front of the flashcard. We may have no back, and we will just have the picture, and we'll have the French word, and we will hear the audio, and we'll try to work it out what it is, and we can look up, if we don't know what the word is, based on the picture and the French word, we can search for it by clicking on the French word and doing a search, and then we can add the translation to our notes. So let's go into create facts, import facts. We have the templates. These are the different exercise types. So we want something with a picture. So I think there's one picture with audio. That should be fine. We got a picture. We got some text. So we got a picture and text and an audio. So this is the template. We use picture with audio. What we need to do, we need to always in the first column, when you're importing something, is to have insert column to the left. Is on the first column, you always need the name of the exercise. Picture with audio, so it knows which template to use. And if we click on this down, this little dot here, and we drag down, we'll just need to fill that column. That will just fill it. So we'll fill that up to there with picture with audio. Okay, let's go back to this. So this is the template. C stands for concept. We're not using any concept, so we'll just say none. And this has question. Let's see what this has. Question delay. So this is just to create a timer for the exercise. We don't really need to do that. Maybe we won't worry about that for now. So on the front, we've got picture, which is fine. Let's have a look back at so picture is the first piece of information. So we need to put a @ sign and 1 for our first piece of information. Okay, and the 2 is the French word. Now we don't have any space in here for a word, so we can add that in. We can add a label if we just put L, and C is for content equals, and we put it in the quotes there. That should work from memory. So I'll put at 2. You can look in all of these other templates for information. In the help, it explains all of this on how to create the templates. If you're creating a new exercise type, which is not one of these, there's many predefined exercise types, but you can create your own types of exercise, which is what we're doing here, to have a picture, some text, and some audio. Then I don't think we need to do that, so we can get rid of that. And for the audio, we can use when we have an audio control, we can have text. So if we C is for content, and that's 2, so we want the text there, and 3, the third column of our data, 1, 2, 3, is our audio file. So that should be it. I'll just see if we can do this. The question delay modifier. This allows us to create a timer based on the length of the audios in this exercise. So update that. Okay. Step 1, it says copy the audio. That's what you need to do first, because if you're determining the timer for the exercise based on the audio length, you will need to have the audio copied first in order to do that. So when you import a deck into Anki, it will copy all of the audio and images into this collection folder, which will be under your users, C drive users, your username, app data, roaming, Anki 2, and your user in Anki, and then collection.media. You could probably just do a search for collection.media. You may need to, if this is a hidden file on your computer, you may need to go to your control panel options and enable the viewing of hidden files. So this is all of our images and our audio file. So we'll right click on that one, we'll copy it, and we're going to paste it into this resource folder for the high-speed tie deck. There we go, we're done with that now. So we've copied all of our media, which includes the images and audios. We've created a template here. We've edited our template that we already updated, that one. And we have all of our data here. Within the first column, we've got the name of our template or exercise type. Just need to select that, paste that in here, paste our tab separated file. So it's got a tab between all of the bits of content. Then we merge it, which work with no errors there. And let's just have a look. We can look in this merge here what comes up with. It's going to insert the data. So picture is p animal.jpg, which is a picture, the French word, and then the audio file. So that looks great. We're going to import it, and that's importing 500 exercises. Might just take a moment. Now, it depends on what type of exercise you're creating. If it's just text, no images, no audio, it's very, very simple. You can just use one of the predefined templates in here. You won't need to edit any templates. Or if it's much more complicated, let's say it has multiple images or videos and audios and texts, then you might need to edit the templates as we've done there. That's imported. Close that. So now we can see we've got 491 exercises here, and Now we'll just save it. It's going to save them. It will take a moment. Alright, so that's done. Alright, let's press, the next thing we'll need to go is the deck options. We need to specify what language this deck is in. So our native language is English and we're learning French, so we'll go down there and look, find French, we'll just choose that one. And the next thing is our study options, and this depends on how complicated the content for you is. We're going to say learn 10 new concepts. We don't have any concepts in this particular file, so I don't think we created any concepts. Let's just check. Edit deck. Concept, yep, none. We've got no for concept. So deck, edit deck, sorry, deck options. So we're going to say, it doesn't matter about the concepts, we're going to say, tell us 10 new items each learning session we have. And we're going to, it's going to introduce us to 10 new things in a row. And then we can have a chance to review them as much as we want. And then once we're familiar with them, we click take out of learning mode, and then they'll go along with the long-term review schedule. This learn early means that if you're introduced to something new, and then it will start reviewing it before you're introduced to the next new piece of information. So you can learn basically as soon as you see something, you press next, it will start reviewing straight away. So it will mix the learning mode with introducing you to new information. We won't turn that on, we'll turn that off now. You can use that if the content's more difficult for you. That way you don't go through 10 and then start reviewing them. You review them as you're going through them. So we'll press save. The only other thing you might want to change is the priorities. So every exercise has a priority, and that the priority determines when it's reviewed. I like to use 3 priorities, low, medium, and high. So we'll delete, oh, we've just deleted 2, that's fine, we can add another one here, so let's add 3. Okay, so let's say for priority 3, we want to review it 10 times in 40 days. Create timeline, so that will give us a expanding review timeline over a 40-day period. So that's 10 over 40 days. Now for the medium priority, we'll say 7 over 40 days, and we'll create a timeline. You can edit these timelines if you want to change them. Save. That's our medium priority. For our high priority, number 1, we'll say, oh, sorry, I did this wrong. It should be 10 for our high priority. 10 over 40 days. Save. And this is our number 3, so this is our low priority. So let's say 4 over 40 days. Okay. Sorry, 4 over 40 days. Create timeline, save. There we go. We've got our 3 priorities here. By default, we're going to put everything on priority 2. So that means by default, everything will be reviewed after 1.7 days, 2.8 days, 4.8 days, 8.2 days, 13 days, and 23 days and 40 days from when it's reduced. From when it's introduced. Let's just go to edit deck, and these are all of our exercises here. We're going to increase the priority, so it's priority 2. That's done. Let's just do a save. So we've got 490 exercises in there, and we're just saving now. And we've specified the language for this file is French. The only other thing we can do is to look up some French dictionaries. Maybe you have a French dictionary you like to use. We can add that in to help us look up our new words in those French dictionaries. So let's start. Press continue. Oh, sorry, we'll go to learning mode.
Animal.
There we go. So our file's all working. We've got our image, we've got our text, and it's all working now. So this particular content did not have any translations. So this is pretty obvious. If this is in French, it's pretty obvious there. So we don't need to translate that one. We've got the image and we've got the text, so we can work that out. So press next.
Oiseau.
Okay, so it looks like bird, or I guess we can assume it's bird, this word. I'm not sure, but we can check it out. If we click on the word, you can just double click on the word or drag over it and go translate. And that doesn't seem to have any information there as well. Maybe it's a specific type of bird. Let's see if we can get any more information on it. Google define. Okay, it's a British English. It's a creature with feathers or wings. So it does seem to be a bird. Is French for bird. All right, let's just translate selected text. That should have worked. Let's try it for the next one. So if we click on this, we've got all these dictionaries in here. These are all English ones. We want to add a French dictionary in there. So let's add new custom dictionary. We can pretty much get rid of all these because these are all English ones. Free dictionary, that's English. Google define, that can be helpful in multiple languages. Google images, that can also be helpful. Okay, so let's see if we can find a French dictionary we can use. If you're studying French, you'll obviously know French. You obviously know a French dictionary already. Okay, so maybe we can use the Merriam-Webster French dictionary that's looking up French. Okay, Collins French dictionary. So we want to go French to English. So let's look up that word. Let's just save that for the moment. Continue.
Oiseau.
Let's look up that word. We'll just copy that.
Ape.
And we'll search for this word. Okay. Bird. So it does stand for bird. So if we get this URL, this link here, you notice how it's got the keyword up here. We want to copy that. Okay, so let's just click on here and click on add new custom dictionary, add a new one. We'll say Collins dictionary. Okay, paste our URL in here, and we want to replace the keyword we're looking for with word in parentheses like that, so it knows where to put the keyword we're looking for. All right.
Oiseau.
Let's just save all that. So now we've got this. We can click on the word and click on Collins. Now it's going to look up that in Collins dictionary. And we've got bird. So it's the masculine noun for bird. Masculine noun for bird. So let's just grab that and we'll drag that over to our notes. And now we have in our notes masculine noun bird, bird of prey, or just bird. Let's go to the next one.
Chat.
Okay, that seems pretty obvious. I guess we can say that's a cat. We can look that up. Click on it in columns. And masculine noun for cat. So that was pretty obvious. We could guess that one.
Chat.
So now we have the answer there. We see that's a cat. That's the French word. We can record ourselves and compare our pronunciation to this one here. Let's press next.
Vache.
Okay, that's cow. Now this translation, translate the selected text, should work. I'm not sure why that is not. Just look under languages here. Oh, sorry, that's why it's not working. We didn't save French in here. If you don't specify the language, it won't use the right source to find the information.
Vache.
So let's click on this one and we'll go to translate the selected word. Okay, there we go, cow. So that's what this word means. We've got that in our notes on the left here, which we can hide our notes if we don't want to see them. So we see a cow and that's cow. So next.
Chien.
So that's obviously dog. I know that one anyway. Translate. That's obviously dog. We'll add that to our notes. That's easy.
Éléphant.
That's easy.
Poisson.
Okay, I guess that's fish. Yep. Fish. Add that to our notes.
Cheval.
Okay, that's obviously horse. Let's just confirm that. Click on that horse. Yep.
Souris.
Okay, that's obviously mouse. There's other ways you can look up the words. We go look up individual words. Mouse.
Souris.
And let's add that to our dictionary. And next,
Cochon.
that's obviously pig. Next.
Cochon. Poisson.
Okay, so now you can see we've got 10 new items in our learning mode up here. You see 10. I hope you can see my mouse. So now we can review. We've got a total of 481 in here, but it's only going to introduce us to 10 items, and then we can review them and get familiar with them. And once we are familiar with them, we click take out of learning mode, and that will put them onto the longer term. I think it was a 40-day review cycle, which we specified before. And you would click on review once they're due, and they'll come up for review. So you would open the program every day or so to complete the reviews which are due. When you click on learn, it will introduce you to new items. So we know that one's
Poisson.
poisson is fish. So let's just cycle through these quickly.
Cheval.
Cheval. I can't speak French. I only know I guess a few hundred words maybe. Is horse.
Chat.
Okay, that's cat.
Souris.
Souris. Oh, don't laugh at my pronunciation because it's not going to be great, but we can always improve it by recording ourselves, comparing it to the speaker and trying to improve.
Éléphant.
That's obviously elephant.
Cochon.
That's pig. We can just check that under our notes. Yep. So
Souris.
we just
Poisson.
cycle through these
Éléphant.
quickly.
Animal. Éléphant.
Let's say this one's easy. I mean, with this one, we probably don't even need to review that. We could turn it to the lowest priority 4 times to review and click on take out of learning mode.
Éléphant.
That's because now it's out of the learning mode. It's available to show up as this random, and the program will show you random exercises depending on our settings under deck options.
Cochon.
Okay, so that's pig.
Chat.
That's cat.
Chien.
So we're going to take it out of learning mode. It's dog.
Poisson.
Okay, that's obviously fish.
Cheval.
That's horse.
Vache.
That's obviously cow.
Oiseau.
That's bird.
Animal.
And that's a very easy one, animal.
Souris.
And that's mouse. So we can always confirm that. is mouse. Take that out of learning mode.
chat,
So that's it. We've now, you'll see under 10, we've got, under learning mode, we've got 0 there because we've taken them all out of that learning mode, which is like a bucket. We can just keep reviewing them until we're familiar with them. And then we put them onto that learning mode where they're going to be reviewed according to our schedule, which was 7 times over 40 days to help get them into our long-term memory. Now, because our first review is after a couple days, they're not due yet. When they're due, they'll appear as due. They're under the overstudy, so we can use the overstudy and we can do extra study if our reviews are not due. So you can see how that works, is that this is what the reviews would look like, and you can see how this timer here works, and that's based on the length of this audio. I think I set it to 4 times the length of the audio, and it works that out when it creates the file. So that's good. If you've got a long audio, you have a longer break, and you don't have to have the timer turned on. But for me, I find it useful because I can see how much time I'm taking. If something's too hard, I know I can always press pause. But if I'm reviewing a lot, having that timer there just kind of pushes me not to be lazy, and it just helps me to see how much time I'm taking. So that's about it about how to import the files from Anki. I would say this particular file is pretty good. I like to have these images and the text. This doesn't have the translations, but as you can see, we can easily look them up. I don't think this, as I said, I don't think this has it doesn't tell us if it's male or female, but I think in that text, according to the color of the text, was whether it's male or female. You could change that for la or le, and you could have added that in there, but we were just keeping it simple for this demonstration. So you can see here, we can really import any content with audios, videos, text, import them in here, and we can start learning, and we can learn very easily using this program in a much better way than I think Anki works, because with this, you just review it your 7 times. If you don't get it after 7 times, it's finished anyway, and you won't see it again. And you could make it 10 times or whatever. With Anki, something may just keep reappearing and reappearing, even if you're not able to learn it. If it's not able to go into your memory because maybe the content is just not formatted in a way. And if you could just keep reviewing it, and it would be really wasting your time. Whereas I find if you don't get something after 7 or 10 reviews, forget about it. You're going to see it somewhere else. You're going to be reading something else. You're going to be speaking, and it will come up. And often when it just comes up in a different context, suddenly it clicks in your mind and you've got it almost forever. So rather than trying to beat it into your memory by constantly reviewing it using an algorithm like Anki, you use this scheduling system in the HighSpeedLanguage program, which is much better, and you can learn any language. And as I see, you can import any content. You can create your own content. You can share it with other people. So we could share this, export for sale, distribution. I'm not sure what the copyrights are for this. I assume if it's shared on Anki, it's not copyrighted because they wouldn't be sharing it, but you can share it with others. You can sell content if you put some good content together, which is useful for others. You could share it, and you could ask for $10 for it, or $20 if it's something simple, or if it's something complicated like a language program which has thousands of exercises and teaches you thousands of words. You could ask hundreds of dollars, and that would be reasonable enough. So that's about it for this video. Thanks for your time.